Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to jump straight into the topic today, but once again, please make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below any topics that you would want me to address. I'm more than willing to do so. I really appreciate whoever watches my videos, and it leaves a great impact. I would wish to continue doing more of these topics. They're so beneficial and helpful, and it's just a great open discussion way to communicate and to be able to express different topics and above all learn from them. This topic today is going to be education, which it's termed as chinuch. It's not the academic education, but it's more the moral education and way of values, to install values to our children, values that we would want to give to them because very valuable, it's precious, it's something that they should learn from, and at the same time to encourage them that if they have potential in their lives, to nurture and bring out those potentials so that they can do their own thing, but to bring out positivity to this world, to that they should go about their own path. Before to educate our children, we have to make sure that we have those values, that we are set up in our values, in our goals. We cannot bring children into this world unless if we have our own values straightened out, because then we're going to basically have confused children. Once you have your values straightened, what between you and yourself, what matters to you, what's straight and what's clear. Also, your parents, what they gave you. Are there things that you would do to pass it down to our children? Are there any adjustments that you would do or wouldn't do? Because obviously your parents gave you an example and set you an example that you agree with or that you disagree with, and you feel that I wouldn't do this, or I would do it differently, or I would do it, there's adjustment that works that you would want to do it differently with your children. You have to make all this kind of homework between you and yourself before to have children. Once you have children, the ballpark is straight on, meaning there's no time to let me do homework. It's go time, it's show time. So because children sense, children can feel and imitate, and right away, as soon as they are, even though their minds are not fully developed and they do not understand certain things, but their feeling of connection, their sense, their imitation, it goes straight from the beginning. Within a couple of months, as soon as a child is able to acknowledge that you are his mother or that you are his father, the imitation is right there. What you're giving as a vibe, they're absorbing it. They cannot speak, they cannot express, but they're definitely absorbing it, if it's a positive or if it's a negative. Another fact that I'm seeing quite frequently lately is that parents are not like here for their children. It's a feeling of, I am here for you. And again, the children are sensing it. When you give that undivided attention, when your mind and your full sense of being is told, the attention is fully given to your children or to your child. When a parent is busy with the phone, when a parent is busy with community, with affairs, when a parent is busy with everything else but the child sees it, the child senses it. And the child, as a typical child, sometimes will do something not nice just to get the attention of the parent. Now you can say it's a negative recipe of how to get attention, so don't force the child to get it that way. Give it willingly. Why do the children have to go into a outsmarting way how to get attention from the parents? Something that you're doing that they are sensing this craving of needing attention. Children naturally, basically, they are okay. They're born in this world okay. They are ruined various different ways later on in their lives, but they're born okay. Sometimes as well, it's mental health. If one of the parents or the parent, the mind is not there, the child is going to sense it. My parent is not here. Of course, you cannot explain this to the child that there's mental health going on, etc., etc. There's a difference when a parent is not feeling well. That's what I would categorize mental health. And there is a part where you're living your day-to-day life. And are you there for your children? Mental health is an era, unless if you decide to have it part of your life. But generally, mental health is an era. Once you cross that era, you have to be here for your children. About 30 years ago, about 40 years ago, there were two kinds of parents. There was the kind of parent who was the overprotective parent, literally every single step following the child. And there was the kind of parent, grow up on your own. Everything you have to learn from everything, just grow up on your own. Today, it's different. You have to grow up on your own from child till about teenage. Once teenage hits, then the parents become overprotective for the child. The teen is starting to be trained and to prepare for marriage. There's a side of the teen between him or herself that there's a whole mumbo jumbo of mixture of emotion and self-development and trying to figure out who they are and how to handle life, etc., etc. It's between the teen and him or herself, and at the same time the parent is literally hovering over to steer them into the path that will eventually lead them to marriage, and that is literally hovering over that because it's a specific path to take. There's actually a new trend going on, as I'm seeing. It depends which parent, but by today, at 3 years old, they are already training them into the realistic way of life. So by the time a person is 20, she has a mind of 40. And it's a little destruction for the child. At 3, this training of trying to train children into the realistic path of life is basically because the parents know that eventually the children will recognize and realize that their parents are not good parents. Their parents were selfish. Their parents did not do the homework, as I expressed before. Their parents walked into marriage with their selfish needs. And the parents don't want to face that confrontation. So the parents train children to go about the negative path in life so that by the time the child is teen or young adult and realizes all along who the parents are or what they did, etc., etc. So the parent will say, well, you're not doing any better. Certain people will call this manipulation way of handling it. Yeah, well, that's what it is. And I'm saying, yeah, that's what it is because lots of people are doing it. My point is to make the situation clear. And if someone decides to change their life or make their life differently, these are the tools. That's my point. As I expressed in my first video, my point is not to bring any negative feelings. My point is to bring the reality. How could we see it from the positive perspective? How could we make our lives differently than it is? This is my point. A mother has a major role to play in a child's life, which is basically the atmosphere of the home. If the mother's angry, everyone is angry. If the mother's depressed, everyone is. Literally, the atmosphere of the home is based on the mother. The values that she gives, basic human decency, belief of God, having trust between one another, a connection between siblings, having respect for tzaddikim, for sages, all this is from the mother. Having love for her children, not a selfish love, but a selfless love. It doesn't exist, make it exist. It's not simple. When you work, you get it. A father's role is quite differently because he's basically the provider and he spends most of his time outside of the home. So his role is going to be customs, traditions. Within the Orthodox community, there's various different kinds of orthodoxy. So the father is setting the example. And then the child has the choice, do I want that kind? Do I want different kind? But basically he sets the example. These are the correct roles, difference between what's a father's role in giving chinuch to his children and what's a mother's role giving chinuch to her children. When a husband and wife get married, it's not done today. I want to, as the title is it lost? Because it's being lost. If everyone is doing their role, it's a whole different family life. Everyone is living in harmony. Everyone is living together. Everyone is living in unity. But if the parents walk into a marriage with, I want to get my way, and the couple is fighting between them, that is going to be the atmosphere that's going to be passed down to your children.